Yes.
And when I was researching into those movements, I realized LeBron anaweza enda simame kwa mall asainti show aziuze amepata do yake. Anaweza enda kwa factory waanze kutengeneza design yake. Sivyo ndo Air Jordan ili happen.
Yes.
Michael Jordan sasa aliongea na Nike wakatoa Air Jordan. Now he earns from his product. So usanii is not the product. Usanii is the marketing tool. You are the product. You get?
So hello guys and welcome to Touch Digital TV. My name is Amina Hussein and you're watching Sips and Soul, where we share and feel and also connect with human interest stories. So today I am joined by Kyle Njihia.
What's up?
Introduce yourself.
My name is Kyle Njihia. I am a storyteller majoring in film, music and marketing.
Yay! Okay.
Also the CEO and founder of Luna Films.
Hiyo ni introduction moto. Sema moto. So I've known Kyle for a while. He's a performing artist.
5 years.
Yeah. 5.
Hey.
Yes. Kyle is an artist. Right now he's majoring on marketing and also brand endorsements, brand marketing and also corporate marketing, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And also digital marketing.
Digital marketing. Yeah, that's so nice. Actually, expounding yourself as an artist. Kuna guest ametuambia hapa you need to expound more than being an actor. Yes.
Branch out ndio kuna very many avenues. Hata iko kwa Biblia unafaa kuona kaa 7 hivi. Unaweka mae zako.
Actually, no wonder the trees have branches.
Wisdom.
Na iko tipi iko na branch. Na madhi pia iko na branch.
We cheki.
Okay, introduce yourself. Grow up, when in nani, for those people who want to know you.
So my name is, like I've said, Kyle. I've grown up in Nairobi, Mathare.
Hey, Mathare na kizungu.
Into branding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. And packaging.
Yeah, and packaging and marketing. So grow Mathare. I was born in 9th of June. Pale to Isili. Nimekuwa hapo nimechill nini. And then nilikuwa chopi. So my parents were majorly walikuwa na focus sana na mimi ku excel in my studies. You know, walikuwa shaona akanika pilot kana come. But around when I was in class 6 ndo nikaanza kuambia by the kusema tu kweli rango inapigia usanii. Tuli struggle now for a while. Hata saizi bado hatujakubali kabisa. What we expect after this, there's something else that I will do. In fact, my mom usually thinks that, you know, this is leading to something else. Okay. Haja get bado, this is it. But nampe tu time yake. Very soon, you know, it'll happen. So yeah, so nilikuwa mchopi, but it can make my parents focus more on me excelling in my studies. So by the time when I was in class 6, by the time naambia I want to pursue arts, economic sense. Alikuwa shina mtoto sasa mwenyewe alikuwa on his way to be a pilot. Ashaanza stories za sijui atakuwa msanii. Ni kitu bado na struggle nayo. It's been a fight yenye bado hadi sasa tunapigana, and it's majorly just because of they want the best for me, and for them the best is uingie shule umalize degree. But nimefanya financial economics, nimefanya music, na sasa I am pursuing project management. So but even now per time we understand that this is it. You know, that we understand that hakuna ati it's not a passing tide. Hakuna time itafika ati I wasn't ati sasa something ita change and yes. I'm no longer an artist. You get. So but nonetheless, at least they still allow me to do it. They still allow me to pursue it. Hata kama there was a time it was one of the contributing factor to sisi kukosa kuona na eye to eye. But at least now they understand, and I guess it's because they've seen the fruits of it.
Nice. Okay, starting way back when you were in class 6, uli realize when you can act, you can actually perform in front of people.
Class 6 nilikuwa nasomea public school iko ita Juja Road. Iko pale Chai Road. And then nikaanza kukua kwa mavita mob kwa zuko kumeja maoria, kumeja nini. Mavita sasa kila break time kuna mtu anapigwa. Especially like nikicheza chubua. Nilikuwa nikicheza chubua hiyo kwa one time.
Yes.
Mtu anataka kufunga naye. So my mama akaanza kuona kujana kwa too violent. Nikapelekwa private iko tu bado iko hapa Pangani. In that private ndio sasa walikuwa ngana the arts, literature, hizo segments, culture festivals. So during culture each class walikuwa wanaambia present, and by chance during my the time nilikuwa na join walikuwa na play and that's when I first landed like my first role. And ilikuwa tulikuwa nacheza wangu wa Makeri, and I was one of the villagers.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the moment I realized that this is it.
This is it.
The
so
joy, the fun, yeah.
what you're trying to say is, if you didn't go to the school that has diversity,
Honestly, and I think it's one of the things that I appreciate kuhusu CBC. It's actually exploring the arts segment on a broader scale.
Okay.
Like adik saizi kuna like my brother was my brother niko na bro mdogo mwenye sasa ako anaingia grade 9. Grade 9 na is one of the things inabidi afikiria about get like uta major in STEM, in social science, in arts, na in one of them unaweza kuwa coach, unaenda kufunza kuhusu sports, unaweza kufunza get. And I feel like if that's kama tungepata that level of studies during our time, there are so many arts creatives right now who would be proficient in what they're doing because wamepata the background and the stability and the backbone that they needed wakiwa mtoi. Mimi kama ningepata hiyo system growing up, arts tungekuwa mbali sana, considering the kind of intelligence that I have, the creative intelligence that I have currently, because of the 5 years experience, 10 years, 2015, 10 years of experience I have in regards to this. If ningepata since nikiwa that young, tungekuwa mbali sana.
Do you actually think that whatever is being taught right now in CBCs will actually influence or inspire young upcoming artists?
It definitely will, but it will also sieve. I feel like kuna pia wenzetu tuko na the joto ya art, and then you experience the space joto inaisha. For some of us it's actually a passing tide. The benefit I feel like CBC will bring itakupe the reality kwa ground. By the time you're 18, you've already experienced what you thought you needed, so you're making a wiser decision.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we are in the new school. You're performing. You went home and told your dad and your mom, hey, me, I'm playing this and this, and in Wangu Makeri. Let's go there.
That became the start of the fall, and majorly because sasa ndio nimekuwa msanii, rangu imeacha kupigia studies venye nilikuwa napigia. Kitambo nilikuwa nasoma napita niko kwa 400 450s nini. And then all of a sudden I'm now dropping because nimepata passion nyingine na I make sense bonus kubalisho kuifanya.
Okay.
So most of the investment mentally, emotionally inaanza kuingia towards what is this new thing that I found. Nikaanza kudrop nikifika ma 380s, 350s, 320s, and to them ikaanza kukua mtoto wangu ameanza kupotea na tukijaribu kumwongelesha aski. I get. So by the time I'm doing my KCP, mtoto mwenye alikuwa ameweza kupata ma 470 sasa yako na 354. It didn't make sense to them. Akaanza kufeel ni kama nimepotea njia, and that changed the relationship that we have, because even when I went to the new school, bado naenda kaule, like I tasted art and my heart can't settle until I have it again. So nikiuko ni nini mafangi naenda symposiums, hospice, Red Cross,
you name it.
and eventually form 2 nilikuwa namaliza form 2 na kijana mmoja alikuwa ma 400, sasa ni ma D+, D minor.
Hata mimi ningekutoa art club.
D+, D minor. But to be honest, I feel like it's like when you give someone a drug and they try to find it somewhere else. It's like when you fall in love for the first time, unajipatanga you're looking for the same person in different people.
Do you actually think, allow me to interrupt you, I'm sorry, do you actually think that if your parents embraced you at that time and said, oh, you love art, let's support you pia on your education, things would have been different?
A lot different. The one thing my mom used to joke is when nilianza shule nikiwa na miaka 2, and the reason nilianza hivyo ndio nilikuwa kielele sana. I'm one person mwenye nikitaka kujua kitu hakuna kinasimamisha. Nikitaka kujua venye radio nilikuwa navunjanisha kila kitu. Radio nimevunja, toys nimeleta nimevunja, TV hadi.
You're curious.
Very. So by the time naingiza shule, syllabus yenye wengine wachukua ka wiki nishajua na siku ya kwanza. So naanza kusumbua class kwa sababu mimi nishashika. Sijui namba, sijui nini, nimeshashika. Na pia my dad alikuwa ananifunza like hadi nikiwa home.
Yes.
By the time napelekwa shule, nimetoka shule nikiingia shule. Okay. So interest yangu in kusoma ndio ilikuwa inafanya nipite. The moment I lost it, ndo grades zilianza kwenda chini.
Yes.
Because even in high school, the moment, because it was actually in form 2, I realized by the way maisha ni yangu. I was looking back, and then I have a brother who's also as bright yeye anapata ma 400s ameingia ameitwa nini national school. So competition imeanza kwa wewe mwenye ulikuwa sasa ungekuwa hapa, you get, sasa that's another different kind of pressure. Now you're even in a uko na pressure kwa nyumba, mwenye anakufuata anaanza kukupita in terms of, so ikanipea wake up call. I was like, you know what, by the way karudi kusoma. By the time I afika form 4 niko nisharudi kwa juu, niko ma B plus A minus hapo. So for me, if they really understood, like wangeniacha I embrace art the way I embraced bila the stigma ya unapotea, ningepata the perfect balance. By the time namaliza ningia kampuni nikijua nasomea hii na nashikilia vitu mbili at the same time. And even you talk to so many artists watakushow the even when you talk to so many artists watakushow the only way to survive in this creative economy is by balancing two jobs at the same time.
True.
Yeah, art yenye na kufeel your passion na yenye na kusupport do yako. So,
wow, that's so nice. Mi napenda story yako. We're moving on swiftly. Sorry for the distraction.
It's okay.
We are now at umefika high school, started reading, started catching up, umemaliza high school. You're now at home. Tell us about that.
So si mimi maliza high school nimepita. My dad ashaanza kunitafutia mechanical engineering, aeronautical, anakimbia KU, anakimbia
bado art
sijaingia. Anakuja home anakuta nini na kutafuta job, nitafuta doza studio. Tukaanza kwa sana. Ikaanza kukua nyumba yangu siingie time flani.
Yes, of course.
Because anajaribu kwa niache hii path. Nikabidi nimetoka home, nikakuja Nairobi. Nikaanza job hapa pale, nimekuwa hadi Makanga.
Wait, ulihama home juu uliona enyewe atu.
So when I was in form 4 sasa nika nini naitwaje? Form 4 walienda Nakuru, tulikuwa tunaishi Nairobi. Akahama Nakuru.
Oh, they moved.
Mimi kumaliza mimi nikatafuta vile nitakuja Nairobi. Na akili yangu tu ilikuwa napiga muziki. Niko shule but muziki. Nafanya hapo ndo nikafanya financial economics. Niko class but napiga muziki. So huko nje nafanya two more jobs, nafanya kwa cyber na kwa mat nini nipate doza za studio. Kafika mahali kwa too expensive, kaanza kujifunza ku produce.
So all this time when you've opened the studio, finished form 4 and so on and so forth, no one was helping you financially, of course, kwa sababu hizi vitu ni wewe mwenyewe unataka ku set up.
In the arts, yes.
Yes. Okay.
According to my dad, alikuwa anasema kama uko kwa nyumba yangu utafanya rules zangu.
Yes.
So
it talks like that, by the way.
Si ndio?
Yes.
So ikikuja ukitaka school fees ya financial economics, ukitaka nini
yuko nayo. Lakini hii mambo yako hizi vitu zenyu unasema hizi vitu zenyu.
Hobby. So but it's until 2017 when my mom tulika chini ndo akaniambia unataka nini. And I think that's the one open-ended conversation that now started to change everything else.
Yes.
Ndo sasa nikamwambia mom, mimi kusema kweli mimi roho yangu inapiga muziki. Na hii ni kitu nimekuwa nikiwaambia tangu nikuwe class 6. Tumeshinda hapa. Akasema sawa. So nikapelekwa nini? KU. Na sasa hapo ndo nikasoma music, and in that nika gain the connections zenye nilikuwa nahitaji. Kuna watu wengi nimeona kigrow kwa industry. Then too nikapata the exposure then ya cooperate vitu hapo ndo nikakuwa producer mfiti, nikajua kuandika fiti, nikajoin Red Cross, nikajua kuperform, like everything that I needed to know about the music space.
Okay, nice. So all this time bado wako in and out.
In fact I think walikubali ndo initoke. Walidhani nikifanya itafika mahali sema hapa sijisikii.
Walishakubali. Yeah, you know. So moving on swiftly to when you did your first audition. How did you know these are auditions as an actor? Monologue ulitoa wapi, and so on and so forth, because someone is watching outside there. They're young actors, they want to grow, wamemaliza immediately form 4. Talk about that journey.
Journey yangu ni different, so I'll say my journey, but then I'll give insights of Kenya inaweza work sai. So in 2019 nilikuwa on my way to Westlands for kuperform. Nikapitia pale KNT. Unaona stretch ya UON, KNT, KBC, unapanda hivyo na Westin. Sasa nilikuwa tu kagu kwa sababu nilikuwa na time kasema kafika hapo nje ya West hapo nje ya KNT wanakonga na kamti wanaweka auditions.
Yes.
Ni at that time kulikuwa na open mics hiyo ndio kulikuwa na open mics, kulikuwa na get like
wasanii kwanza perform.
Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Simiyu for Pal, by the way. Ali ameifanya good job with it.
Walai. So anytime kama msanii ungetaka space ya kuperform, ulikuwa unaenda hapo unacheki hizo maposta, unaingia.
Yes.
Unabambika. So mimi niko na auditions. Si nikaingia, nikaenda huko nyuma, alafu nikapanga line. nikiwa hapo kwa line ukikaa KNT kuna kwanga na my rooms, the main auditorium, kuna kwanga na stairs rooms unapanda hapa kuna room ya kwanza ya pili alafu kuna ka space pale kuna makio na get saa hii room ndio auditions zilikuwa na happen. Nikumtuma na Naomi Mboro wakatoka hii next room.
Wow.
So nikakapita hivi kanichikia hapo akaambia sijui Naomi nini, nikaambia niko acha nikusaidia, alikuwa kuna vitu alikuwa amebeba kama nikusaidie. So tukatoka naye, tukitoka hivyo tukaenda tupiga story. By the time anafika kwa gari yake akageuka akaambia Naomi hebu include pia huyu, I like him.
Wow.
Monday napigiwa simu, mimi nadhani naitwa perform, kumbe hapo sasa ndo nikakuwa introduced to the film industry.
Okay.
Walikuwa na shoot since early days. Yaani sasa hapo ndo nikajua set venye, but sikuwa nimevaa kinini, so sikuwa kwa, nilikuwa tu kwa background kucheki venye vitu zinaendaga nini. So nikienda hapo wase wanakula fiti, unalipo per day. So haina noma, but ilikuwa experience for the day.
Yes.
Nikaenda home that Monday, that is hiyo Saturday nikaenda nikapiga show. Monday nikaenda na 2019 kaisha napiga tu mashow zangu. 2020 covid ikaingia, kama msanii wezi perform sababu government inasema a gathering of more than 20 people ikubalishwi. So msanii mwenye anategemea my events na nini itabidi ameanza kufikiria tena like what nini naweza fanya, nini nyingine naweza fikiria. Nikakumbuka baby kuna acting wasa alikuwa nalipo na mko tu watu 5 wa 7 kwa set, bocha njaribu. Kaanza kupiga research March, April, May, June nikapiga audition yangu ya kwanza Unlucky Stars. Ilikuwa inapita online. Casting call. Nikacheki nikapiga nikachukuliwa. But nilikuwa nimechukuliwa role lead.
Okay.
But since ilikuwa time ya lockdown sikuweza kuja Nairobi. So ikabidi amechagua mtu mwingine, venye kulifunguliwa akanipeka role.
Nice.
Sasa nikakaa bado nikapiga. Ya pili nikapiga sasa not by the time sasa at that time na John main industry players akina Jennifer Gatero, Moses Sidiana.
Yes.
So anaanza kuambia hebu jaribu ifanye nini. Nikaanza kujua Crime and Justice. Nikapiga Crime and Justice nikapata. Nikifanya Crime and Justice Isaiah tulikuwa tushaanza kujuana. Akaniitia Volume, akaniitia Country Queen, akaniitia Salem.
Wow.
So hizo ndo nimepiga hadi hivyo 2023. But 2023 kabidi nimechukua pause kwa sababu kuzichapa hizo zilikuwa character heavy back to back. Kabidi nimechoka kidogo.
Plus pia you on a TV series.
Daily.
Okay, nice. Let's talk about the scene in Crime and Justice and also the scene in Country Queen. Those are very big roles, especially for someone who's young. They're just in the industry. Talk about that.
When I think first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Sir Hassan and Edwin Kamau, because when you're shooting that scene, they were really patient. Even Alfred Muñoz and Peter Kamau, they're really patient with me, because in Unlucky Stars, hiyo hata role yenyewe sikupea hata iko kubwa. Crime and Justice was my first big role, and the first scene I did for my role was the interrogation one, and to think that that's why I started off with. It required so much grace, guidance, and study, like kujua character in and out to a point, because that was the money scene for my character. Unajua kila character anakuanga na ile scene yenye sasa imemdefine, like hizo zingine zina lead to this one, because even in Country Queen all the other scenes zili lead to he.
Yes.
And when you have that, by the way, when you have that understanding as a character, as an actor for your character, that everything is leading, what everything leads to, that's what guarantees whether your character was ataipenda ama ataipenda. If you're able to build that, you saidia sana. Well, I mean saidia sana, because for nitrogen, for when I was reading the script for Country Queen and I realized what was at stake for my character, I knew that I had to build him up to be bigger than life, so that when he fall, it's felt.
Yes.
Angekuwa tu kama mtu kawe hapa pale, that final scene angekuwa na as much weight as it has right now, because of how I built the character.
I bet you've never sniffed cocaine before. And in Country Queen, it was your first time make your lines. You're being told now,
Chapa kitu
tupatie.
Nyorosha kwa kamera.
Ongelesha those guys who want to act and they feel like this thing is very easy. You can just do it. Talk about that.
First of all, I think kuna kitu moja siwaambiana na Mina, huwezi peana depth hauna. there's a level of emotional awareness and intelligence that you need as an actor in order to understand what's at stake for the human being that you're portraying. This is not just a table or a glass. This is a whole person who could exist. You get, like, this is literally someone somewhere. Every time you're playing that role. So that's, for me, that's why my biggest compliment is when someone texts me kwa IG ananiambia, manze, I saw myself in you.
Wow, that's so nice.
Like, niliona you did this, I've been struggling with this, thank you, thanks for that. Now that is such a bigger compliment than, hey, when you know, man, no. Because now that tells me that's a job well done, you know. And if you want, especially as an actor, if you want to really succeed in playing out the characters as diligently as possible, enter therapy. Learn so much about yourself. Grow in your self-awareness to a level where you're undeniably aware of who you are. Like, hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza kusurprise with, you know, facts about you. Siwezi kuja nikuanza kuambia mimi, na by the way, mimi unajua kwanga hivi kama mwenyewe bado hujui.
Sina kwanga hiyo.
Yeah. So that. But fun fact, hiyo ilikuwa cocaine. Ilikuwa glucose.
We're explaining hapo because kuna watu wajui use props on stage. Yes.
Ndio za kwa kidani hapa nimetumia man. For layman.
Yes.
Why is atuwezi tumia even when you, sasa I don't know if I'm breaking a rule nikireveal hivi atukunywangi pombe kwa set, atuvutangi sigara kwa set.
Of course they know. It's not real, it's props, yeah.
Kuna tu labda uongo. Hizi kuwa hiyo.
Okay, it depends also. It depends with the scenes. Kuna majuu, kuna watu wema they're using it actually. They're using the exact prop. If it's a wine, you're sipping on a wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
But take 60.
Take 60, yeah. Cut, you know.
But I guess I get what you're saying. Because unless it's a one take, kama ni zile takes kuchukua kama tumeenda sawa nipe origi hata inaweza kunifeed because I think I've done it so many times. If I'm in a scene where I need to hema na piga lap so that I don't fake it on the camera,
kimbia tu
piga tu lap like mmoji. So by the time unafika hapo it's more believable. Hata wewe mwenyewe kulose your breath, it's not a cue, it's actually you're actually out of breath.
Yes, it's not scripted.
Yeah, it's not scripted. I think it's the things we do for the story to make sure that, you know, you're actually telling the authenticity. You're bringing out the
touching on authenticity. Authenticity. So, touching on authenticity, we want to talk about storytelling generally in the Kenyan stories, Kenyan film, Kenyan theaters. How do you feel about it first before even you take the script and say, oh, ningependa kufanya hii script, ningependa kufanya hii role?
I feel like the film industry is the creative industry is supposed to be story based. The film industry is supposed to be story based, but it's performance based, and that's why they invest more on how the picture look than the people driving the story. Utakuta they make a budget to hire Ari ya $4 million, bring a director of photography from South Africa, wa make sure amenunua manguo ukitembea by the uko nje ni bling bling and all that, but then they hire very shallow story drivers. That's one. Two, even when they're prepping the script, for example, as naturally tukipiga udaku tunaanziaga mahali tukidigress.
Yes.
Right? But our scripts tunaandika zimeanzia 10 different positions, then tuambia watch hadi mwisho utaunderstand utaelewa. No, it's one thing to lead to the other, to lead to the other, to lead to the other. But because our film industry is performance based and not story based, we're not investing in who should be the story drivers. Because we don't invest in who should be the story drivers, we don't know the conditions necessary for the grooming or the grooming of the story.
Yes.
Na juu sasa tuja focus na the environment, then we don't even know what it is to thrive. You get? So we write matope and then we decorate it. We plaster it, we paka it makeup, tunaivalisha, tunaipandisha ndege, you know that.
Yeah.
It's a very bad story that could be told in 1 minute, but tumeivuta imekuwa a whole feature film juu tunataka kuiuza Netflix. And then tunaifunika na manguo, tunaifunika na color grading, tunaifunika na majina,
yes,
you know, and at the end of the day it's just matope because Look at videos of Vienyo on TikTok. Like, they gain numbers
because of authenticity.
Exactly.
Yani correction.
Like,
you know,
if you invest the two things.
Na yeye si kienyo.
Sorry, pole basi. Wewe umemtaja. Mimi nimeweka general.
Yeah, but I get you.
The two things,
authenticity sells. Yes.
Like, the only two things that we need to make sure that are top quality is story and sound. You could have a very bad actor, but if your story ni ngori, hata angushaje, bado mnenda mali.
Sure.
If you invest in just story and sound, not even acting, not cameras, not clothes, not location, story, you can shoot. In fact, I even dare people, write a very brilliant story, shoot it with your phone, uone kama itasell. Now hii story yote hakuna do iko with a 200k nikitoa 10k imesimamia transport and logistics, ingine imesimamia kulipa wase, and I have a really good script. Niseme ndio shoot na camera, ni invest kwa sound, because now sound hapo hatuwezi kwa, like, have a very bad picture but not bad sound.
Yeah, true, makes sense, because film is all about sound.
So if you invest in sound and you invest in story, then utaanza kukuta, by the way, the money that we need to actually push the nini forward si mingi vile tunafikiria. And if your production cost si mingi hivyo, then anyone can do story, anyone can do film. If anyone can do film, then hii kujenga hii film industry hailin kwa mgongo tu ya watu few. It can actually be carried by so many people.
Yes.
Unaweza fanya kwa production yako, msengine afanya kwa production yake, wengine afanya kwa production yake. We now saturate the industry with stories. Itaanza kukabedhe Kenya kuna story ya kuambiana.
Yes.
The time unaanza kuona a Kenyan in a western show anaanza kuportray different, anaanza kuwa bashed because kuna point of reference of how a Kenyan should actually behave in a story. You get, utaanza kuona the western version of a Kenyan person.
Thank you. Ebu look at that camera, wambie tena hivyo.
Hautaanza kuona the western version of a Kenyan person. Back to you in the studio.
Asante sana.
And then the other third thing ni tumefika a point where we take stories out uko nje, and then we Swahili size it, and then we call it a Kenyan story. Script imeandikiwa the culture and the way of life of an US based citizen.
Yes.
But then juu inaongelewa in Kiswahili, it's not a Kenyan culture. It's not a Kenyan culture. That's still a US story told,
yes,
dubbed in
and actually,
Swahili
if you the essence of us dubbing, and also what is it called, inatonga James akichukua from not translate actually, the other version, when it comes to film kuna jina inaitwa the way you inherit a story and
like venye tulifanya Gomorrah na Salem.
Yes, evil. You see, now that is quite different. When you're adopting, actually it's adopting, when you're adopting a story, you're Kenyanizing it because iliandikwa in terms of sana script the essays ndio ziko na hiyo, like South African scripts, like Chocolate City, DF City ni the four girls, so itata Sibila amekuwa hapa, Gigi. When you watch these stories, actually when you watch the South African version of it, the South Africans are doing it South Africanly. In every beat they putting the Zulu there, everything there. But now when you come to the Kenyan version of it, first of all, we are adopting stories that originally they're not even ours. I feel like that, because you cannot Kenyanize a script that says she walked down in New York City with whatever.
Alitembea Nairobi City na kibubui basashuka.
So, and you look at that scene as a director, how is this supposed to be executed realistically? But now that's where we have a problem. Why are we adopting stories instead of writing our own?
I think we don't believe that we sell. It's an identity issue. We feel like our own stories don't have market out there, and that's why even when Gengeton blew, a lot of people waited for it to zimea because we thought it's not gonna go anywhere. We didn't understand that that's actually us. That's actually we finally having the voice to put ourselves out there.
Wow.
The moment we now, because ingia kwa hizi big tables, talk to them about, ataanza kuambia to the same thing. How is it bringing me money? Are you going to find someone to air that?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be so hard for you to convince them that Story Dandora will matter more than Story Westlands. Yet Story Westlands in the US.
So let's digress and go back to our own story, because if we venture into that, we'll get mad here. So sawa, uko pale ushamaliza high school, you've joined the acting industry, na Mumburu amekupatia bonge na Nick Mutumo amekupatia bonge la show pale hata kama si main. You get?
Ilinipa exposure mentally.
Yeah. Then you went to Sincerely Daisy, that is Sincerely Daisy, Crime and Justice. Now you're at Country Queen doing a whole other different scene, a whole other different character. Yeah, talk about that.
Kingsley was a breath of fresh air, at the same time a pain in the mtu hapa anaanza kubali kukasiwa.
It's not allowed.
And majorly because of who he needed to become in order for him to exist. He demanded so much.
Yes.
Kingsley was one of those people that you either play me right ama watu watadhani si actor. He carried, that was the pressure I had. And then I'm on set with not just the locally acclaimed actors, worldly, watu wanapiga mashow US, Nigeria, Europe, experience. Nini Washera, Melissa Kiplagat, Olwenya, as in Melvin Alusa, Sheila Munyi, nice giving. You look at the people you're acting with, who are going to be, and you have no room to, you either do it or you don't. Hirato semetu bedhe istaweza pia mtu mwingine. You get? And the beautiful thing about Country Queen is it also gave me the luxury of time. Okay. Look at a shoot scene moja a day. So I have the whole day to just think about one scene. Okay. And then I had an acting coach on set. So nitaenda nikule ni dress up, nifanywe kila kitu, and then I go to him as an actor. And for 6 hours we're just talking about this one scene. Inaanzia hapa, inaishia hapa, and what do I need to deliver it.
Wow, who was that?
Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi, shout out to Ravi and also Caroline Koch. Yeah. Yes,
Caroline anisaidia sana nini Salem.
Yes, Coach is big up to Coach.
Yeah.
Sawa, all this time your parents are seeing you, of course, on televisions, kuna vitu zimetokea, and of course wako hopeful, the guy is doing a great thing despite everything.
Not really. I think they finally accepted when I was nearly under the trend during the media junket of Country Queen. Finally ndo ikawa, I think ndo ika settle, kumbe this could actually be a thing. My mom actually sends me watoto wa mabeshte wake, huyu anataka kufanya acting, mfunze.
Why is it so funny? It's so funny. Hata wewe projeni mtoto kangu karibu afanye hizo vitu zenyu.
And but for the longest time I actually came to realize much later that one of the reasons is because they were actors na iliwakula vibaya during that time. So that's where the pain was coming from. Mtoto wangu hizipitia kile nilipitia type karibu kastena. You get? So if I came to understand, because I think the biggest mental shift happened when I realized that they're also human beings experiencing life for the first time.
Yes.
I think we look at our parents and we think they have it figured out. By the time they're having us, washajua venye vitu zinafaa kwa zikienda zimepangwa and all that. But they're also winging it, man. They're also living it a day at a time. They're also trying to know, manze, kesho, niko show juu ya kesho, niko show juu ya next week. Mtoto wangu, and then for them, they have, you see, during our times, in their 20s, wako na watu moja, wawili, watatu. You get, as we have now the luxury of choosing,
when to get kids and when not to get kids.
Or even them, they had the luxury, but they were not aware enough that by the way kids come with this. So, because you see, you make decisions, everyone makes informed decision, but regarding how much information you have in regards to a decision, it determine the outcome of that decision.
True.
Some decisions will be ill-informed, zingine ziko well-informed. So mzae anajua maisha ni linear. Nitamaliza shule, ningia hapa, nipate watoto, nini, and all that. I feel the boomers and the millennials hakuwa na story ya dreams and goals.
True.
Hakuwa na story ya sijui.
Na nakubali tu true.
For them it's a system, it's a structure. Umaliza shule, ufanye hivi, upate watoto, mwishi vyema, upate nyumba, get.
By the time you're 30, at least you have 2 kids.
Yeah, good job. Ukafunge hivyo, by the time you're 40, sasa unaenjoy maisha. Sasa kutoka hapo sasa uanze kufikiria hizo vitu unataka. But for us, we have the privilege of starting early. Kuna mtoto wako 10 years already ako YouTube earning millions.
True.
You get? Kila mtu sasa ndo tunaanza hiyo story ya exploring your passion, becoming someone. So
when finally your mom saw you in the trend, akasema,
my boy. my boy. Ai, akutwa unatuliaje? Mama msanii. Mama Kyle.
Mama Kyle
Unamwambia
ni
nini?
msanii.
Unamwambia nini? Tutoka kwa wapi? Wako kwa gazeti, ndio kwa TV, ndio. No.
They're now proud.
Yeah, they're now proud. But then, by the time they were realizing, I think I was now on, I wouldn't say on my way out, but on my way to a break. I had done acting for 2021 for almost 3 years back to back. Akili inafikanga mahali nasema tosha.
Because it's a mental work.
It is. And that's why I advise every actor to have a therapist. Kama si therapist, mtu mwenye uongelesha. Mnaenda mahali mna cool down. In fact, in the corporate, I came to realize that in the corporate field, every person has 3 places. Their home, their work, and their third place. The third place could be anything. Kuna mwingine ni bar, kuna mwingine ni events, kuna mwingine
ni ukweli.
Kwenye unaenda tu kutoboka, like, to depressurize.
Yes.
As actors, we also need a search. Every time you've done a gig, and you also need to surround yourself with people who are knowledgeable. Usipate 1 million, umepiga, 1 million, poleni. Usipate 100,000, umepiga gig imekulipa, now you don't know what to do with the money. Unaanza kufikiria acha nifikie mahali ninunue kanyama. No. There's somewhere you can put that 100,000.
Yes.
That to make sure that it's bringing more
money.
Think of yourself as a business, and that's why I decided after I'm done with Salem, I need to do marketing. I need to understand myself as the story that I'm telling. There's the script, there's Kingsley, there's Joey, there's all these Aiden,
and there are gonna be many
Kyle.
more to come. Yes. So let me focus. Let me delve into another thing.
Yeah.
Now let's focus. Let's look into now you're finishing Salem and coming into marketing. When did you realize that art kidogo wacha nifanye na kitu kingine yenye itanisaidia kuingiza extra income?
Okay. Napenda venye all my changes, all my shifts zime happen time nime notice naanza sina do. Like umaskini inafanya nifikirie because ndo nitoke muziki niingie kwa acting, which is because I was broke. Alafu sasa ndo nitoke kwa acting niingie kwa marketing because I realized that outside set I don't earn. Outside set I'm not selling.
Yes.
And when I was researching into those moments I realized LeBron anaweza enda simame kwa mall asainti show aziuze amepata do yake. Anaweza enda kwa factory waanze kutengeneza design yake. Sivyo ndo Air Jordan ili happen.
Yes.
Michael Jordan sasa aliongea na Nike wakatoa Air Jordan. Now he earns from his product. So usanii is not the product. Usanii is the marketing tool. You are the product. You get?
Nice.
When you start to realize that, then unaanza kufikiria ni wapi naweza weka jina yangu. Mimi kama Kyle sahi, kuna mtu anaweza senya t-shirt alafu nimuuzie 2,000 na kubali. Siwezi. Why? Misi brand. And that's when I was like, nahitaji nini. This is something I need to talk about.
Yes.
This is something I need to delve in. So I went. So I finished Salem in April, and then in April I went. April ndo nikaenda nikapiga shughuli fulani ya Netflix. Wasi wakubwa walikuwa wameitwa and then nikaanza kuwa na mabrands. Kila mtu ni brand tu na katim kake. Uko from South Africa, from Nigeria, and I was like, yeah, it's about time. So April, May, June took some time off kufikiria to like from June I started trying to delve into, because now you see I also don't know where to start from. So unaanza tu YouTube, unaanza ka workshop fulani hapa, workshop fulani pale.
Nice.
By the time the year was ending, I was like, okay, I think I know what to do. So the whole of 2024 nimeko focus. How am I standing out as a brand? And now sasa for the next gigs yenye nachukua, how do I make sure they maximize the push that I need to build my brand?
Nice. Marketing now. You've entered marketing. You're an artist. Fresh from the industry. 3 years. Amepiga kazi safi. How is marketing?
Hey! Napenda venye each field unadhani uko na information kuihusu alafu nafika huko unakuta
You're a baby.
You're a very, very like
toddler.
The way they do their email marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing, like even the very many branches and avenues that you can, events marketing, like you think it's one thing and then you realize it's a whole scope that you can't finish.
True.
And then it's not just, for example, wasanii udhani posting is marketing. Si nilipost jana. Hakuna kitu umefanya. Umeifanya tu available for people to view. You haven't marketed it. There's a structure to how you market it. There's a funnels. There's a system. There's a whole system as to how you market. And that's why unakutadi even our films are suffering majorly because we think we've already put it out there.
Yes.
We've marketed it. We haven't. Niliona comment fulani kwa post akisema wasanii ujiactia tu wenyewe. Like nyi ujifanya tu ma movies. Mnaenda mnaingia set mnashoot mnaeka wasanii wenzenyu na wanaenda kuziwatch. Because na si ati hakuna mtu mashinani hataki kuziwatch. There's a reason why nini Citizen iko na so many people.
Yes.
It made it readily available for the other people, and for us to figure that point, there's a shift that needs to happen in the industry. Before fika hata kwa marketing, there's branding. I usually mi usema hivi, this is what marketing has told me.
Sorry.
Nikitaka and marketing ni a man asking a woman out on a date.
Ooh.
Branding is the reason whether she'll say yes or no.
How he packages himself.
Exactly. Unaweza kuwa uko na do, unaweza kuwa wewe ni tajiri, but kama umevaa slip-ons, shorts na t-shirt ya Magucci, madola kila mahali, ukienda kwa approach demo substance atakuangalia useme so nini. Yes, you have so much to offer, but okay. Na kuna mwingine atavaa tu suit yake clean, avae kiatu, ni struggling artist hapa pale anaingia kwa ofisi ni nini, but ashajipresent hadi amesema najua hajafika bado, but I can work on this. Now that's where so many people do not put their mind on. Una market, for lack of a better word, matope. Something unprepared, something unmolded.
Something you're not sure of.
Yeah, like it's not yet, it doesn't have structure, it doesn't have beauty, it doesn't have features. You don't know who you are, you don't know what you stand for. And if a friend of mine alisema, if you kiingia kwa industry kauja define itakudefine. Forget. In the moment umeingia kwa industry, and that's where typecasting actually comes from.
Thank you.
Because umeingia kwa industry, role yako ya kwanza ulikuwa uchi. Kasi ndio atafikiria kitu kingine. Mimi sijai kuona kitu kingine. Sijai kuona ukiact kadem professional mature. Sijai kuona ukiact kadem wa ghetto. Sijai kuona ukiact kadem mwenye anaweza act kama mzazi ama kama mtoto very respectful ama politician. So, why should I think of you when I'm looking for such a person if I don't think that could be you?
Wow.
You get?
So
when you miss on branding yourself and you allow the industry to brand you, utakuwa tu unapata the same roles. But if you came to the industry with already a brand you, like this is who I am, this is what I stand for. Your first role will lead to your next role, will lead to your next role, will lead to your next role. And because of how diverse you've already created yourself, the roles themselves will be diverse.
True.
I get. So I realize by the hadi size bado sijamaliza, hata sidhani nimeguza like 10% or even 5% of what branding and marketing could be.
After 3 years of doing acting back to back, now you're telling your parents, me kuna venye naona nikiingia marketing or I'm delving into marketing. How do they take that?
They're actually open about it because unajua marketing it's a corporate field.
Yes.
So for them kwenye penye unaenda kwa ofisi na uko na salary unaingia 8 unatoka nini, that's a structure, and for them they're like hey,
kumbe at least kanaweza enda job.
Hey,
yeah.
The bigger worry came now venye niliwaambia I've learned enough, nitakurudi kwa usanii. But now for them nikatulizana, I'm starting my own production house. I've known how the system works, I've known how the corporate works, I've known how everything in a function. Nataka sasa kujaribu, but not as mtu anatafuta kazi, but mtu anapeana kazi. So now I write my own scripts and then I look for my own team, tunazishoot, we sit down, bado tuko ile face ya does this work, does this. I actually came to realize that rich people wenye kuna do fanya hivi, waanzisha biashara ina run for 90 days, wanaivunja, wana study, wanaanzisha ingine ina run for 90 days, wanaivunja until wapate the structure that works. If the structure now works, that's when they start a business.
Wow.
They don't just and that's why for them wanakujanga naanza kuuliza, have you done it before, how is it, you get, that's it's not because that they're trying to grind you, but they
experience.
They want to see if you understand what you do.
Yes.
If you understand it inside and out, haitakusurprise, hautaka hivi chini wanze by the way sikuwa nimeexpect you. You get, and so they've already invested millions and all that.
Okay, looking at the industry, what do you feel needs to change? When it comes to acting, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to, you call it authenticity, storytelling, because at the end of the day, what I know is media does not work without advertisement. Advertisement to our source of income. By the way, most of the people don't know that. Media in itself can't make an income. We need an advertising factor. Talk about that.
I think there's a Kiswahili saying that's saying chama cha juza.
Kibaya chilichirembeza.
If we now focus on stories, first we need to go gorilla. We need to stop eating chapati kiongano. We need to actually build each other, support each other. Uko na camera, uko na sound, uko na zandika script, unaweza act. Let's now first make the product.
Yes.
Then now think about the product as what's supposed to pay us. For wasanii wafikiria about event. Producer atashikana na msanii waonde album, wanza kufikiria venye event itawalipa. Si producer alipa na msanii. Of course kuna wenye producer analipa na msanii.
Yes.
But majority ya wenye najua, that's how they work. That's the same thing we need in film. We need to put content out there.
Yes.
For the content to shape the industry for us. And if we go gorilla and we eat from the content, then we'll start to focus on what actually matters. See, kama mimi nataka kukulia producer, sitafikiria story ya script. Forget. Because mbona nafikiria story ya script? Sitafikiria story ya marketing.
Yes.
Mimi nikishaingia set nishapiga story yangu ni hivyo tushamalizana. Sitakulia nini tena. Producer sasa ndo anza kushughulika na marketing. But if you actually have a stake in the cake, you will want the best for it.
True.
And the moment we now focus on making sure that our product is good, we're going to start to realize how the holes in our scripts. We're going to start to realize that shida si ati hatuna story. Shida ni hatuja develop technique ya kuiambiana.
Ya kuifanya. Ama ya kuexecute.
Tutaacha kukuwa na hizo makrito kwa kusema, okay, it was good, the camera nini, but the story. Sasa ni mmemwaga do, mmeshoot, time, watu wamelipwa, but the story. Na ni kitu inaweza fixio kwa story unaundia kwa laptop. You don't need to sijui create a whole building. It's a mental
thing.
Yeah, it's a mental product. The moment we now focus on the story being
sometimes I feel to interject that, because sometimes a story can be written beautifully, like someone has written that story beautifully, but the way it has been executed, no problem. Removing an idea from your brain and actually actualizing it, ikwe sasa ndo a whole scene, executing a whole scene, it's me kwangu that's quite miraculous. So for you to be able to write Jonte, for example, Jonte Amina, and then now you're seeing in reality Jonte and Amina exist and they're actually having a dialogue. That's quite big.
Yeah, it is.
If you don't picture it like that when you're executing this story as a director, you're a big problem. Because I feel like most of our directors, they're good, but sasa kumbuka production, it's marrying each other. Production kama kuoana. The DOP, the director, plus the whole project post-production lazima make sense. What do I mean by this? Be an editor. Part of story. Yes. And most of the time we execute editors. Kama ume notice on set watu wataki editors. So, no maana unapata mtu akikuja ku-edit, unashanga kwa final edit. What is this? It's a matter of us. It's everyone's job and duty. Yes, to understand tuna shoot nini and what is the story. If possible, crew members read scripts. Me there's a time even a makeup artist aliniuliza on set, what type of makeup am I supposed to apply on you? I'm like, have you read the script? Hey. That's not my work. Me na kazi yangu ni kuact. Kazi yangu si kupakana makeup. If I knew I wanted to do makeup, ningekuwa nimesimama hapo na ningejua which type of makeup, because kuna hiyo face beat, kuna the shallow makeup, kuna whatever makeup for each and every scene. So the time that the crew members wataelewa what they've come to do on set, instead of kushikilia, then you'll go far as
when everyone is a storyteller, not just the actor.
Thank you.
I think napenda the fact umesema executing the story as a director, like there's so much weight to that in every level. Film inakuwa na 3 levels: pre, production na post.
Yeah.
In pre, storyteller ni script writer. In production, storyteller ni kwa ground.
Yes.
In post, storyteller ni editor mnaweza shoot kitu alafu editor by the way.
Have you ever waited for film and then when you see it on screen uko like actor ni mnoma acting
ukutumia scene yake ukutumia ile
take gani which take is this
ile ya kwanza kabla hata hajajua nafaa. Yeah, it happens, like, and I think it's because aliangalia ni gani imeiva color vizuri, ni gani composition imenga.
Yes.
ni gani ma background extras wali behave.
Okay. So you as a marketer right now, gauging you from an actor's point of view now to a marketer, what do you think sells in the film industry?
Story. And as in you, an actor as a marketer, story. Because in marketing, what sells is the product. It's so easy to sell a good product. For example, they usually ads. When you're running an ad, and it's an ad and it's 5 seconds and it's very catchy, you don't need to pour so much money into it as an ad. Because the moment imeshika correct tunaitanga CTR, click through rate, the moment mtu wa kwanza amewatch na imembamba ishasambaza kwa network yake. But akiwatch kama mbo anasonga. So I still maintain its story. Anything in the marketing just helps put it in front of people's faces.
Do you think we do enough marketing for our films, our series, our plays? Yes.
Tuanzie hapo, do you really do marketing?
There's some people who are doing it.
We share, we post, don't market.
Okay, guide us through that steps. Maybe 2 or 3, tell us what are we supposed to do?
Marketing starts in pre. And it starts even in the audition. It starts from, ideally, how I think about marketing to run, it's that I have a script. I tell people, I want to shoot a script about life in Dandora. Right? Already there are people interested, be like, what do you mean life in Dandora?
Yes.
We get. And then I start to cast. I think in this script, I want Bilal to play it. I want Hussein to play it. I want Bia to play it. People be like, hey, Bilal mwenye tumemzoea kucheza hii ni role gani anakuja kucheza?
Yes.
Then as we shoot kuna ma BTS. Hii scene will happen. Umse alifanya hivi. By the time tunafika post, we already have anticipation on the ground. You get? We already have so when we are distributing, we're distributing something that they're waiting for. Picture it this way. I want to start cooking chapati. Perhaps out of chapati nini. They're like, hey, ni chapo ni nini? I'll be like, so ni kitu around unaweza kula na nyama. Nyama! Nice! Alafu unabuy how much? 20 bob too. That anticipation is what we don't build with our product.
Okay.
We expect they will be as happy as we are with it when we tell them about it. We expect that they share the same emotional connection to it the way we would. And that's why even when we're releasing scripts, they're like, watch hadi mwisho, utaget ukifika huko. No, I'm supposed to capture you with the first minute. Alafu culture ingine yenye natuaribi ni ile, please support. The support culture. Support me, support. Hii ni biashara. Nafaa kutengeneza kitu nikikwambia bedhe watch kitu itakubamba. I don't need to start telling you,
please
watch, please subscribe. No. Me, I'm doing it for you. I'm entertaining you. I'm not sikwambia uni promote. You get? When you're in that, when you adopt that mentality, then nini Hussein ubambika nayo?
Yes.
Hiyo ndo nitatengeneza. Get? Sitaanza kufocus na, because if nakuja in the promote mentality, then tatengeneza kitu yenye mina feel unafaa kuget kunihusu, kitu mina feel unafaa kuipenda, kitu mina feel unafaa kuenjoy. So hiyo ndo ndakuletea with the promote.
Yes.
But nikijua mimi napenda Afrobeat, naingia studio kutengeneza Afrobeat. Mimi napenda film zenye magari zinaruka kutoka bill moja hadi nyingine. Nafanya investment. And
how well can you know about this? It's for you to do marketing in the ground.
Marketing ingia kwa ground. Uliza wase, talk to that mama mboga mwambia, why do you watch Nema, for example? Why do you watch Jiffy Productions? Show gani yako favorite? Mbona unaiwatch? When you have such data, then you start to realize wanataka kitu wanaweza relate.
There was something that the governor of Nairobi was trying to start, the screening of the films that we've done, especially in the Nairobi Festival and so on and so forth. I felt like that was a very good idea, but it needed more and more, brainstorming. Akaina wase wasanii ajue ni wapi screenings anaweza fanya mtaani. Talk about that. Is that a good marketing strategy, or what are we doing here? Because he tried it the last time it was the Nairobi Festival. It was there. Try the other one. Yeah.
In marketing, there are usually 3 ways to market. There's the organic, there's the digital, and there's the traditional. Traditional is the billboards, posters,
trains.
Digital ni social media. Organic no social media. Digital ni ads. Hiyo yake ni alieka event akapeana traditionally by word of mouth, like mi sikuwa najua kuna kitu kile gonna happen.
There was Nairobi festival inatangazangwa inakonga Uhuru Park.
Najua kuna Nairobi festival basi sikuwa najua ni ya itakuwa
yeah, the normal screenings hata imekonga kwa but they used even KFCB to pass down the information. So what I didn't get from all this is that watu wengi Kenyans, they don't follow KFCB. It's only us. Like KFCB is already disbanded right now. So I was like, mimi nikaangalia screening, what time on a screen nini, is it Pepeta, is it Clifford Bang, is it whatever, you name it. Nikaangalia nikaipata nikaenda. I was like, mimi ni filmmaker, and that's why I was able to access that information.
But kuna mtaja access.
There's a normal Kenyan who will go to Nairobi festival and they will not know anything about the screening. Trust me, wataenda wa dance na ende home.
And that's when I said, and that's what nilikuwa too, the 3 ways. Now what I feel like what Sakaja did wasn't effective because it was a traditional way. One of the reasons why the creative economy is suffering is because it's in the hands of people who still have the traditional or the old ways to govern it.
Yes.
They're usually new ways. Like if for such, tafuta watu venye kwa sema brainstorm na wasanii wasai waulize ndo kitu itrend, what do I need to do?
Yes.
How do I need to package it? What do I need to say? How do I need to script it? Otherwise the old tricks can still work advertising. Na hapo ndo bado tunakosea.
Yes.
We still expect that the hype of a premiere ndio italeta wase to the premiere itself. Like hey, movie ilitolewa ni kali iko Netflix. Kuna mtu sawa iko Netflix, so si basi acha ndaiona kwa nyumba. You get? But if we actually sit down and try to script the experience of the film industry from the perspective of the common man, not our own. See, itadubama because manze, it's a very beautiful thing that we've done. It's like a pat on the back, an achievement. To shoot sasa in air. That's why it feels that to us. But to them, how does it feel like? How do they sasa at nini tumeka premiere kwako iko aje, unaonaje hiyo story, hii story atakuuliza ni story ya hiyo hata mimi we get si story hata na relate si story hata kuna udako huwezi taka kusikiza juu haikurelate na wewe, haikuhusu.
Yes.
If kama udako haikuhusu, mbona nishinda hapo nimesikiza tio acha, but tumekuwa tukipeana udako haikuhusu na tuna expect.
So moving on swiftly, do you think that since now social media is a very small village compared to social media, everyone can be something, everyone is someone actually in social media right now. Do you think right now if we maximize on organic media, that is the digital posting, the online posting and stuff, if we maximize on it right now, can we be able to sell our films and our shows?
We can be able to market them and then eventually create structures where that can bring revenue to us.
Okay. How?
Siri ni numbers. For example, Philly wako na platform yenye unaweza post movie yako hapo alafu they only take I think 12%. So ukiweka hapo movie yako ya 200 bob ina cost mse 200 bob kuwatch. Achukue 20 bob yao baki na 180. Watu kaa 1000 or watch. Unashapata 180k yako imesharudi.
Nice.
So now you need the 1000 people. How do you reach the 1000 people? Social media. How do you reach people on social media? Good content. You can't convince someone to watch something called Jambaba within the first 3 to 5 seconds. If ukivia ndo makwambia kwenye tunaanguka ni story. Like we have everything we need. The problem is we're not focusing on the story itself. Because the beautiful how your story mzuri hivyo. Ukishaiweka hapo utasema hey ni kali. Have you ever watched TikTok videos of snippets of movies and then in your comment section not only say hii movie kwa wapi?
Yes.
That if we're able to create really good stories that we can sell on our social media, even online, by the time you're calling your artist when you're gonna 500k followers and 1 million followers, that can now convert to numbers because they have something to sell to those people. Otherwise, those 1 million followers not akwa enemies, number one enemies to your show. Ano toka kwanza kuambia by the way libo hivi ikabo hivi na kama the first gate washaanza kusema inabo hakuna mwingine hata nini, like if the first thing naona kwa social media ni show ya Amina ilibo from watu wengi already naingia with the perception ya show Amina inabo inaweza kuwa nikali, but if the first line washasema inabo then show Amina inabo get. So social media can be good and bad in that.
But that is also traction. Your kubo pia ina traction. It's a way of getting viewers. I found out that. Yeah, basically, have you ever seen those posts on maybe any social media platform? I've used this product. It's nice. then you go and use it.
Inakuharibikia
Yeah,
vibaya
that's
sana.
okay, nice. So let's talk about
Before we move on, unaona hiyo story ya tembo tulikuwa sema bad publicity is still publicity.
yes.
Hiyo ilikuwa time numbers zilikuwa zina matter, ma followers. Siku hizi ni engagement. And engagement haiangalii bad publicity. Unaweza kuwa ni mdeadly but purchasing power yako ilishuka kitambo sana.
Yes.
So uko na 100,000 followers but huwezi uza product more than 20k. Hiyo inaku affect kama msanii the type of gigs unaweza get.
Yes. Ai. Umeivia hizi vitu.
Ilibidi. I was very broke.
Anyway, moving on forward. Do you think we need a marketing agency? A serious marketing agency in a film industry?
Yes.
Or in a film setup?
Yes. Marketing can't be handled by one person, especially when it comes, 'cause you're dealing with how to talk to human beings in a way that watapenda Kenya unawape. It can't be run by one person, a genius only that anaweza handle like peke yake.
Yes.
It needs a whole team that does research on a daily. Unajua venye industry ushi imechange. Kitu yenye nabamba sasa itabamba next month.
Kweli?
Na if ile akili yenye ilibambisha kitu last month ndio tunaingoja bado isikume kitu.
Life ni short lakini yangu ni tota.
So it does. We do need a marketing agency. We do need a marketing agency, distribution agency, branding agency.
True.
Like we need teams of individuals wenye wanataka kuivia in this sector who unampelekea script, unamwambia atakushuti script, wana handle project yako from pre-production hadi air. Muna drive the whole thing with a goal in mind. Because at the end of the day you still have to understand this is business. Kama tunapika mandazi, wacha tupike mandazi venye inafaa kupikwa. Tusianze kujali about mandazi after shaiva. Kasa tutauza wapi? Mandazi inakuwa baridi kwa bucket. Uko hapo kufikiria nitaipeleka duka gani?
Yes.
You get?
Yeah.
So
currently, what are you working on? Which agency? Are you dealing with any marketing product, any service?
Like I said, I started my own production house. It's called Luna Films. I'm currently trying to work on scripts zenye and because I want to kusema na kutenda, you know, nisikuwe one time. So that by the time I'm releasing my story uko nje, I have a long lasting career being built, you know. And then eventually I'll drop down nitaingia sasa kwa marketing purely. I love the game.
And how are you looking forward to market, you know, these films that you're making right now? Because you must have a strategy for it at the end of the day.
Niko nazo. Nataka kuzi launch baadaye. Nitawaambia zikimake it. Unajua sasa hizi bado ni trial and error.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is out of context. Kuna mtu ama bado msanii tu anasukuma?
Right now I am married to the game. I am loving the process. Mapenzi ni tamu imeiva. Let me tell you. Mapenzi ni tamu.
Aiongele mapenzi umepata kidosho ama bado?
Si ndio hiyo game. Right now, to be honest, I can't be able to staza kujisplit. It's ishi tu kwanga demanding. So nando mavela ni must. So inabidi for night abidi tu nikubali loneliness.
Yes.
Cold nights. And cold anyway. So that I can be able to fikisha Luna kwenye nataka ifike. Once ishafika hapo, then perhaps I'll start to think, okay.
Do you think as a male actor, male leading, I normally call you male leads, we're two actors. Do you think relationships are a distraction?
No, not at all.
Or they're just there to make you, you know, I'm in a relationship, that's fine.
Anything can be a distraction if it's not getting you to the goal.
Okay.
So ukika una date na haiko aligned, you need distraction. But the beautiful thing about a relationship, that's a space that it gives you the best awareness about yourself. And you can't be able to portray another character if you're not aware of who you are.
Nice.
So relationships I find kwa distraction kwako unless ni too happy nini. I mean, si BN saya na manager na bebu wake. Unaweza sema ni distraction.
Na mumuita BN.
Alitoa BN. BN.
Yes.
BN.
Yeah, so umefika to that level. I want to venture, asante sana kwa hiyo. Kama una mtu ni sawa tunaweza sip on that. Kila mtu amekuja ako single ka host.
Tutakuja tumejisimama sisi.
Nitakuja mji host. Sawa. You want to open your production house. Of course, you have the right property, the right strategy. Are you looking forward to collaborate in the industry? Who are you looking forward to work with? And how are you looking forward to maneuver?
Kwanza nataka work na wewe. Mimi hizo miaka 5 nimekujua na kwanga mzee sana.
Red card.
Aina no man tafika bei.
Manager. Be where you? I'm joking. Looking forward. Yeah.
One of the reasons actually nilifunga the production house so that I can be able to manage with people cooperatively. Cooperatively ni jina hata. Like in a corporate way.
Cooperatively.
Oh, kizungu ilikuja na bado nangangana hapa pale.
Kijana wa Nyandarua.
Wa Nyandarua na Mathare.
Unamwambia aseme corporate.
That's a very, in fact, congratulations to Kyle. Masomo ya mwalimu iliingia. But because the other reason why financial structures don't respect us wasanii is because we don't have structure. Tunakanganika tunabahatisha. And the moment you have like a structure going on, you can even ask for a loan to shoot a film. You can even, like, there's so many things you can bend around to support you financially for whatever product that you want to do.
Yes.
And that's why I decided to start it. It wasn't so that I can be a CEO. There's nothing to the title, by the way.
Okay, have you ever heard of Hiva Fund?
I do. Actually, Jim Chichi is actually a friend.
Okay.
And I'm not there yet. And this is majorly because such fundings require certain structures. And sijafika hapo bado. That's what I'm currently building. Sasa ile time nitafika heaven anaweza kuja wanipe mita. Nikufa. Ai. Utakuwa unasikia tu nenda set ya Kyle. Unaenda set ya Kyle. Ai. Uko unasikia unakula. As an actor, I want to create conditions that I wish I met. I want to be able, msanii akikuja set yangu, kuna vitu atupigani. Get, sifai kurudia the same things nilipata.
So we were talking about marketing, branding, and also marketing agency when it comes to film. Do you ever think of establishing that, maybe?
I think it's something that now that we've explored, ndaifikiria kwa kinagobaga, kama kuna such a word, so that labda that's the gap that I could help fill, I could contribute to. And hopefully nisikuwe peke yangu tushikane watu wengi, because marketing is a big cake that shouldn't be eaten by one person. If tutaivia kitu tukiwa wengi, then perhaps the industry tapick pace, then speed inaenda na sai.
Nice. Let's talk about personal branding, personal marketing, and also contracting. Do you think as an actor you need to have a knowledge of marketing first and also branding and also personal branding, you as a brand?
Yes. Let me put it this way. If you don't have your own brand that you're pushing, utaenda kupusha wenyewe.
Ukweli.
So utaingia set, hiyo role umepewa, sasa that's the person you are. Unaona kutanga mtu ameingia set, amepiga role for a while, hata akimaliza, that's the character they maintain uko nje. Why? Because to them, wasana nijua hivyo.
Yes.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. But the benefit of knowing yourself before you approach any role is that now the roles push your initiative. If you know yourself to be an underdog, like very personally, before anything else, like if someone was to play Kyle, your structure they create, your structure, like if someone was to play Kyle, what's the character bible of Kyle? What does Kyle stand for? Yana believe in hizo vitu zote. Ukishajua hizo vitu zote, you will start to look for roles that will push what you want to become. You get? And so itakuwa so easy for you to achieve to achieve personal goals with the help of now the stepping stones zenye unaekea with the roles that you're playing. For example, mimi msanii. No. If because of that background as msanii, nimejipata napata roles mingi za msanii.
Yes.
When I do them as kama the character ngoma zangu sikuko nje, now the audience know me as that actor who can rap and sing. By the time nangusha ngoma, it's not a surprise.
Yes.
You get? So when now you've known your strengths, your weaknesses, your potentials, like kwenye unaanguka, by the time you're going for characters, you're even more aware of what characters to go for, because zenye zinakufit vizuri. So that's now the benefit of doing it before. If you don't, utafika hapo ukute character anafaa kuwa bad boy. When ni actor, when ni gwiji, of course utachezea bad boy vizuri, but is it you? unakuta sasa after event set, now you have to maintain two characters at the same time. The bad boy that the audience know you are, and the person that you really are.
And most of the time you end up being the person that you're not.
Exactly. Hapo ndo watu wanaanza kupata identity crisis. Kuna nini uweza kumaintain? By the way, when you uweza kumaintain, mi watolea kofia. Me, I tried ili tuligongania mahali. And it was, at that time it wasn't even that much difference, you get. But yeah, perfect background. Ukishapiga hiyo nini branding yako mikulia fiti, umeshajua hii ndo strengths zangu, hapa ndo naweza, hapa siwezani nini. Ukienda upiga role hata typecasted ni sawa, sababu una typecast your body na contribute to the goal that you
yeah. That is so nice. Let's talk about, last but not least, contracting. You find out that most of the time when you're an actor and you have followers on Instagram, you have, social media followers, they tend to tell you, you were doing this project, usahau kutupostia. Let's talk about that.
I think,
because I feel like in our industry, especially the producers, the directors, maybe generally all of us, we think that's marketing.
Posting.
Because right now, people are casting people who have followers, who have a big following online. It's no longer about talent. It's no longer about talent, by the way. It's all about, akona 100k followers. Sawa, hata kama alishoot movie mbili, huyo mleta atatuletea watu. Do you think we are backing on a wrong niche, or is it something that is factual on the ground?
Here's the thing. If acha nirudi kwa story yangu ya product ya story, if it's a good story badly portrayed, those 1 million that unafuata from this one person not to criticize vibaya. If ni actor good, but if it's you Amina uko na 1 million followers na ni umepewa role, imagine that's a very, in terms of business, that's the most well informed decision. Umse atapiga show na atakuletea numbers.
True.
But if umse anakuletea numbers na atapiga show, umse anakumarket vibaya. It's the same thing na ni lipe watu 200 wasimame pale kwa street waniongee vibaya. You get? Nilipe watu 500 waende KNT washout by the Kyle hawezi, by the Kyle mbaya, by the, you get?
Yes.
That when you think of it that way, then unaanza ku realize, if I cast someone because of numbers na tupige show mbaya, that's what I'm doing. Na mwambia ende huko nje ambie wasee venye, ama nikana na employer tumia 1 million kuambia by the si hizi andika script, si hata hajui kushoot, si hata unaona hizi makosa, you get. So that's the power of numbers. Is just because you've cast someone with 1 million doesn't mean you'll have 1 million watch
yes
time.
True.
You'll just have 1 million people paying attention to you, and the moment they're tipped off, those 1 million in turn away, the other 1 million would have been genuinely invested in you. So sawa, it's one of those moves that is dangerous yet but also effective if well played. If, for example, Denzel Washington akona numbers.
Yes.
The moment you put Denzel in a show, you don't even need to post a trailer. What already like, umeleta Denzel when him movie ni deadly. You get, because Denzel performs, but also akona numbers. But ukileta TikTok influencer mwenye hajazoea,
but normally they do that in the Kenyan industry. Okay, at the end of the day, I believe in authenticity, because art is art. No matter, even if I have 1,000 followers, if I'm talented, I'm still talented. Yes, me, I believe in that.
Unajua Jenna Ortega alikastia for Wednesday akiona tens of thousands of followers.
Yes.
By the time wana air the second the nini wana air kwa Netflix alikuwa shafika millions of followers.
Ooh.
Like, because,
and that shows you it's her work that is selling outside there. It's not hiyo yenye tuna try
numbers nini. Tunapiga shortcuts. We are not choosing to really pay attention to what actually matters. And the moment we start doing it, we start to realize, by the way, this thing is really lucrative.
Yeah, let's sip on that as we wind up. Sindio? Normally in this show, artist lazima acheze game.
Game gani?
Which were your favorite subjects?
Favorite? Mao?
Chopi.
Physics?
Sawa. Physics. What is define the difference between centripetal force and centrifugal force?
I mean, uko serious bana. So, but say business. Business was my favorite.
What is business?
Business. It is the study of the buying and selling.
Okay. And what is a ledger?
A ledger.
Yes, in business there was a ledger.
A ledger sinile it's the
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet. Yes, could describe a balance sheet. An example of a ledger.
Yes.
Ni kama income statement, financial. Okay, mimi najua kutengeneza biashara. Niuliza swali za kuuza. Uuze nini hivyo?
So what is marketing, basi?
Very nice, very nice. And I describe hivi. Marketing ni you asking someone on a date. Branding is the person saying whether they're going to say yes or no.
Sawa, you win. Anyway, look at that camera, give us a parting shot and where we'll find you.
Okay. My name is Kyle Njihia. That's KAEL_NJIHIA on all social media. Okay, see all. TikTok to Instagram. And tupende usanii. Let's actually invest more on what matters. Let's not waste time on vitu tu za kupoteza wakati. Na mimi sijui mbona washo na safa kusafisha pesa yao na creative economy na dai. Kwani hadi Hollywood ilitengenezwa na Madrid.
Watu wa washo kujeni inside. Bana. Anyway, thank you so much guys for tuning in. That has been a nice dialogue when it comes to marketing, acting and what sort. On what sorts? Yeah.
On what sorts?
And what sorts?
Yeah, on what's not.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this information was educational, informational also, and entertaining. So yeah, at the end of the day, keep it Sips and Soul, where we share, feel, and also connect with human interest stories. My name is Amina Hussein. It has been a pleasure. Till next time. Adios, muchachos.